All right, got some friends in town this week and we're up on the roof right now barbecuing. It's pretty smoky here in Seattle, but it's been nice to kind of take a little bit of a break from writing, creativity, and just, I think I need a little bit of a reset lately, energetically. So it's been really nice to reconnect with some community, reconnect with some really close friends of mine, and just enjoy life. I guess I'm just gonna be a little honest on this video, and that is the fact that just been going through it, you know? Just been going through life and the challenges and the obstacles and the uncertainty and the wanting out of my current reality to break into my next reality and break into my next version of myself, but I feel like I can't get there, and I feel like I'm stuck. But I also feel like life is asking me to have more acceptance for where I'm at and recognize it's not the wrong place. Maybe I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, even though some days I might not feel like that. Some days I feel unsure if what I'm creating is going to be powerful. I guess I'm questioning more about my life because I'm in a sticky and messy part of it. And that's not a bad thing. It's life. But it's uncomfortable, sure. But there's transformation in the uncomfortability, so I know it's all going to be worth it. But it's easy to lose sight of that sometimes when you're in the middle of it. I've lost a little bit of momentum on the research I was doing for the book. Last week, I was feeling super good about it. And then, like the first 2 days of the week, it felt like I was moving through molasses. Wasn't really doing anything. But maybe I'm not supposed to do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to just let it be, let it unfold, accept, allow for things to happen on the timeline they're meant to happen. I just want to share that it's totally okay if you're going through it. It's part of change, it's part of life, it's part of growth, it's part of transformation. Sometimes you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you can see the next step, and that's all you need to see. For me, it was taking a break from the writing. I'm on a drive right now to one of my favorite spots in our neighborhood, down by the water. That was the next step for me. So I think sometimes in these moments when you're going through it, when you feel like you just don't know how to overcome this obstacle, just look for one small step. How can you create more momentum? How can you keep moving forward even when it does feel hard? And my belief is you break it down into the smallest step possible, because any action will create some sort of momentum. So for me right now, kind of lost some steam on the book research stuff, and I could be super hard on myself about it and beat myself up for it or whatever. But no, it's not going to do me any good. I'm just going to allow it. I'm just going to accept it. Because when I let it be that, I don't know, I feel a little bit more peace. So I just pulled up. Let me show you this spot real quick. Beautiful Washington down by the water. Okay, I want to do a quick rundown of what I do in my office here to really set the vibe. I have the same regimen that I use for all things that are related to deep creative work. The very first thing I do is I actually shut off the top of these lights, but I don't shut them off all the way. I dim them a little bit. So this is what I'm going to show you on my phone. The lights I have in the ceiling here are the Hue Phillips lights that have the color changing settings. So I open this app on my phone. This is a really awesome light to have in your office if you want to change the vibe. It changes to all sorts of colors. I'll drop the link below in the description. I have a setting called Meditate, and the Meditate setting dims the lights to this perfect dim that I love in here. The next thing I do is I have this lamp right here, this banker's lamp. My dad had a banker's lamp in his office growing up as a kid, or when I was a kid, and it just reminds me of him, reminds me of my childhood. So the next thing I do is I just flip this guy on, and this creates a really nice lighting in the room that just makes me feel at peace. And the next thing I do is, of course, I look at this beautiful wall that is a display of my book, to really remind me what I'm working on, what I'm working toward. The next thing I do is I always light a candle. I think a candle is a great way to bring ideas down from source and really download them. So I always have a candle on my desk. If I'm working on music, I put the candle on my piano. So I move the candle around the room depending what type of work I'm working on and where I'm working on that type of work in my room. The next thing I do, which is one of the most important things to me as someone who loves music, is I have a specific writing playlist that are songs that I've been listening to for the last 4 years, and they just drop me into a trance. I think it's really important to have things like music where it's the same kind of music all the time, because our brain becomes programmed to recognize that it's time to do deep work when we put on that music. So for example, there's one specific song that I always start every writing session with, and it just makes me immediately drop in, because at this point, I've listened to it for the last 4 years or so. I am programmed to know when that song plays, I create and I focus on deep work. The last thing I do is I do a little bit of an intention setting, a little bit of a prayer to really set the tone of the work I want to create, and I really try to connect with the universe, connect with the source, and open up my channel to receive the ideas that are meant to be channeled through me that day. And that just totally drops me in. And since I'm already here, I think it'd be good to just do a quick breakdown of the Notion I'm using for the research and kind of how I'm going about this research. So I'm going to flip this around real quick. And this is what I'm using for the research. So very simple. We have the name of the piece of research that I'm collecting, the chapter it relates to, the research type, so quotes, articles, metaphors, models, stories, case studies, videos, other books, and then we have the source, so a source link for all the research, any additional links, and then also any additional media. Sometimes I have, extra PDFs and things like that I like to upload. And then really to find this, it's a scavenger hunt. It's really a scavenger hunt. And sometimes it feels like I'm not going anywhere, and then all of a sudden I find myself in this rabbit hole, and one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, I found my favorite piece of research. So really going into Google Scholar. Another great way is to look at some of, books that are already out there. So I'll look at books that have teachings that could support mine, and I go into the back of their book and I look at their bibliography and the sources that they used, and see if there are any sources there that really support what I'm going after, and then I kind of dig into those sources. So that's a summary of how I really set the mood and set the vibe, and then also how I'm using Notion and doing the research to really find the things that are going to support this book. So that is that, and I hope this helps you set a vibe in your space too. Okay. Let's see this all. Because if I just let go of not caring about that being this super high quality thing, I mean, it's still gonna be high quality.
Yeah,
high
I don't
quality.
think it's going to be low quality.
No,
It
but
might even be perceived as higher quality because it doesn't have
The spiral.
something binded. Always, I feel like feels better.
well, you can do a series now.
Maybe this will all work out. I just haven't checked in a while.
Oh wait, you can do a series now.
What does that mean? No.
I could create both of these and sell them together on Amazon.
Almost like a
I
I
bundle.
mean,
wow.
you couldn't do that before?
No,
No.
Like you couldn't have two
Since the last time
books.
you tried to do this?
I never tried.
Oh, maybe you spent the whole time.
Maybe I should have just tried.
Yeah, should have just looked it up. Could this be sold in a regular book size?
I would just have to have them reformat it. They would do it as pet pen.
Or but you kind of like the idea of it being more like a textbook size?
Yeah, so let me show you what Hermosi does.
Oh, yeah.
So this is his hardcover version. Let me see how big it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a textbook.
It's, yeah.
See how big that is?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I
So
like
it's
that.
It's the
I
same
could-
size as this, yeah.
Yeah.
So they
So if you go Amazon,
And everyone loves Alex Hormozy
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
so.
they have 8.5 by 11.
Right.
Look at that.
There you go. You could also do really good on Amazon because this freaking subtitle, Find Your Purpose in 30 Days. And it could be fun to have like a new thing to market while I'm working on getting the next book.
Yeah.
Treat it like a new book.
And like do like a little
It's like a
launch around
relaunch.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should.
Yeah.
You can make all the
5 for
accents
5.
white.
That's my angel number for transformation.
Ooh,
Time.
well.
Yeah, this is really cool.
This is all, yeah, you put this all together. That's,
I mean, I invested like 10 grand into this project. And it's a timeless concept.
Like
great idea, never
exercise.
dies.
Everyone will always want to find purpose.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So I think now that I have like the space to think about it again, it makes sense to like pursue it.
Yeah.
Pursue it.
It has a purpose.
Pursued it. So before we head out for the day, I just want to quickly explain what we were actually brainstorming in that last session. I wrote a book and created a workbook about at the end of 2022 to help people find their purpose in 30 days. And I haven't really talked about it too much. I just released it as a digital version in the very beginning, and I found a lot of challenge in getting it out there. I've printed them out myself here. Actually, I'll just show you. I'll flip the camera around and show you them. So this is the book, and it's a super dope design. The value is insane. It's a step-by-step process on how to find your purpose. And then it comes with a workbook that lays out everything you learned in the book into a structured plan, so you don't have to figure out how to find your purpose on your own. So it's a really great product. I've just had a really tough time marketing just the digital version. And then my buddy Vince was just visiting here, and he was asking about it. And he was like, oh, why don't you publish it on Amazon? And I was like, oh, well, like Amazon doesn't let you do series where you could put 2 books together. And I went on Amazon, and sure enough, you can do that now. So I'm playing around with getting this published on Amazon sometime this fall. If you're interested in checking it out now, I'll put the digital product link down in the description below. But yeah, this is just a great real-time lesson on the importance of never giving up on an idea and trying to find a new lane or a new perspective to see it through, because when you do see it through that new lens, it could literally change everything and make it the very thing that gets it out into the world. So really happy that we had that conversation, and just that I'm seeing a way that I could relaunch this and give it some life. I gotta get a precious cargo to the restaurant for lunch. Can't crash. Gotta drive.
Best chips. Showing her friends around.
Playing tour guide.
Love it.
All right, we're at the vintage shop trying to find something. So far, no cigar, but we'll see. These are not from the vintage shop. These are from the modern shop. All right, I'm ready. Here's my item for the day. Is my phone in there? Hanging out in my pocket. It's the phone. Probably puts my keys. Prepping for my dad era one day. All right, Vince just found the perfect hat. I'll give you a reveal in 3, 2, 1.
New hat alert.
Little product review. What did you get over here today?
All right, we got turtle keychain.
Bang.
Easy going, just like me. Fish knife.
Ooh.
Pocket knife. Looks like fish.
Here, you hold this for me real quick. Got a little field, what do they call this? What's it called? Field notes. Notebook. Beige. Kind of brown paper. And to write on it, I got the world's smallest colored pencils. Perfect size. There we go. All right, we're gonna do this cheers. Let me turn it around. Boom. Holly Pop.
Poppy.
Cheers. Cheers, boys.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.